Hello, and welcome back to Therapist Plays Disco Elysium. On today's episode, we transcend. Now that we've pieced together what is tearing reality apart, it's time that we move our attention to something even more important, which is the dance-off in the church that could potentially save the universe and save our soul. And somehow, this deep into the playthrough, I'm still seeing some of my favorite interactions with these characters, and just some great character writing. Unbelievable stuff. So I'm excited to share all of that with you and put us one step closer to the finale. So with that all said, I hope you enjoy this very groovy episode of Disco Elysium. Hello, and welcome back. Okay, so we have just a few more things. I swear, just a few tiny little things to do before we go look for Ruby. Because we were given a couple new tasks after finishing up with the kids and Suna, which are namely to go tell the people in the ruined commercial district that basically reality is unraveling around them due to the combination of psychological, economical, political, and metaphysical factors completely beyond their control, but potentially also within their control. But we're basically going to inform them that things are miserable, and they probably always will be. Unless we can solve this crime. That's, I guess, like one of the commentaries I'm really curious to see how the game answers as we near the ending for fucking 6 months. Is like the scale of the problem that I've been introduced to through this game, like the scale of the problem of humanity and economic collapse and all this stuff, is like way bigger than this murder. And like, is that really the point, actually? That like solving this crime, it doesn't really change much. But it does put us in front of people who we have genuinely helped. One by one, we've made a small difference in their lives. Potentially not always a good influence, though. Oh, I guess we can't do that because it's the evening. So maybe we'll go back to the church. We'll do that in the morning. Let's find out if we can pass that dancing check. My boy Andre is he's primed. What did I need to pass this? Was
hey man, it's good to see you.
Savoir-faire. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we got. I'm fully ready to save scum this as well. I gotta see it. I hope in one of these Disco Elysium successors that they find a way to like sort items by benefit so that I can just quickly do this instead of going through one at a time. All right. Still not a great chance. But you know what? I started this playthrough passing an unreasonable amount of 17%ers. Who's to say my luck should run out by now? Got the high quality audio. I've got a dance fever incoming. And we found the melody. Okay, Harry. Let's see what you've got in you.
You close your eyes and dream of the shapes your body should form to bring this strange music into life.
Damn it.
For now, such ferocity of motion is beyond you.
But just imagine the moves you could...
Oh, I can only imagine them.
Futuristic beat.
Puts a grin on your face just to think about it. Even a failed attempt gets the juices flowing and repairs some of the damage done by being lost. If you up the dose and truly dance, who knows what will happen?
Yeah, I'm actually curious if like what the psychological research says on dancing, because like it's just such a unique thing that people do. I mean, you sometimes see animals dance, but like
Salvation.
there's got to be something behind it, like the way it stimulates the brain. I genuinely don't know.
Goodbye, officer.
Okay, well,
You close your
yes!
eyes, vacate your skull, leave it. Where did that little fluttering light go?
What did I get? Just barely made it in. Okay.
Total darkness.
Oh.
You sink down the darkest fathoms of your own personal deep, vertebrate by vertebrate, through the unformed skulls of your mind. Here it will begin.
Where did the church go?
Who fucking cares?
I hate waking life. I hate this world. I hate and fear everything. All I want is to dance. Please, God, just let me dance. I feel like this is actually... I've talked about this like window of tolerance to your dark things or anxiety many times. Like, we're not always in connected access to that sort of stuff, but certain things can certainly put the mindset there. Like, I do think that Harry is still walking around with this in his mind. I hate waking life. I hate this world. Despite so many things we've done to like improve his circumstance, and we've done a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy on him to improve his like thought process and the competition of his mental states and that sort of thing. But the thing that's underlying a lot of your cognitions and behaviors is not your thoughts. Your thoughts come from your core beliefs. And core beliefs, they don't change as quickly as thoughts and behaviors and emotions can. Like CBT, I've done sessions of CBT where like the result is immediate. Or I have someone go home and do something and like the very next day they're like, holy shit, I feel very different. Like I was able to do this thing, right? It was very quick. But it takes a lot of maintenance because those thoughts, stressed, anxious, irrational, automatic negative thoughts, they are informed by core beliefs, which take shape over many years, throughout your entire life. And whenever the reptilian brain comes into play, I feel like it's getting in touch with like something deeper. Like his core beliefs have not changed yet, which is we are receptive to the idea that life can change. We are open to the possibility that this terrible thing we did to ourselves and other people is maybe a turning point, and the negative consequence of losing our fucking mind and memory is potentially like an open canvas for insight to become a new person. That's all good cognitive behavioral restructuring. But the deeper we go, the more what underlies those things kind of can still creep up. And you could be very, very committed to some of your positive mental changes, and there still be some core beliefs that need adjusting. They take a lot longer to change. I feel like this is true.
God? Where is your God?
Where did the music go?
Oh, don't worry. The music's still there. It's you who is gone.
Let's concentrate.
Nothing. Just the immaculate silence of your spinal fluid. Electrified.
What was that about unformed skulls?
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Every
New character?
vertebrae in your spine is an unformed skull ready to pop up and replace the old one. Like shark teeth. The one you're currently in has a little brain forming in it, waiting for its turn. To rule the world.
Got a new character in the composition of Harry's personified core beliefs and body parts. Who are you? Introduce yourself.
I am the spinal cord.
Well, the spinal cord plays a very interesting role in your central and peripheral nervous systems, which I talked about on the very first episode of this series, actually. And the spine is interesting because it's kind of where your reflexes live, as far as I understand it. because you have like parts of the peripheral nervous system that are sort of automatic. You don't control them with your thoughts, like your heartbeat and your digestion and that sort of thing. But on the scale of, milliseconds of reaction time, they're quite slow. Whereas the spine has this like immediate reflex attribute to basically bypass all of the slow travel of like information going from the brain to the nervous system and back up to like make a decision. Like it's the reflex that tells you when you touch a hot stove to just immediately like pull it away rather than sort of assessing whether it's dangerous. So it's interesting that it's getting involved. What do you want?
From what I can see, it's about to bust a move.
Which makes total sense. It's like, it's an unthinking, unfeeling part of the body. Like it doesn't have an agenda. It doesn't have a motive. It can't think for itself. It's just reflex. It's reflex that's informed by like just experiences, right? Like if I throw something at you, you have a reflex to catch it, but your reflex can be trained like to be better. So like this is a sort of a dormant module in Harry's mind and body that is resurfacing. Something is engaging it. Something is asking us to bust a move.
Foolhardy, do you even know what's happening on the surface? Maybe 1,000 years have passed. Or maybe you started spazzing out like 2 seconds ago. With your eyes still closed, the
Feeling.
first thing you feel, all the way back in the pivoting darkness of your own torso, is warmth. You have become a triumph of rhythmoplastics.
Yes.
Somewhere in a smelly wooden church on the coast of Revachol. The wounds from the war you waged on your body are healing, twist by twist, turn by turn.
It's literally healing us.
You must have touched upon an entirely new way of moving.
No way!
Your body. Every motion is pumping your brain full of endorphins. Open your eyes to the pioneering glory of hard style.
Open your eyes and dance like you have never danced before.
You have become a flawless interlocking mechanism, a flesh and blood approximation of the throb coming from the speaker setup of the one called Eggheads, entirely, rigidly imbecilic, without pity or fear.
This does make total sense though, because like there isn't an emotional component to reflex. Like your spinal cord doesn't give a fuck really if you're disappointed about something. It just has it's just reactive. But your brain will interpret the outcome of that reaction. And so like Harry's not really thinking about anything. He's in a fucking flow state right now with his spinal cord and his limbic system and his reptilian brain all coalescing together to literally heal his physical and mental form. But his brain is also reacting to the neurochemicals that are being deposited into his multiple skull spine head bank.
Free from self-awareness, no deliberation, only, and I mean only, execution.
What did I just say? Even fucking Volition is on board. That's crazy.
Oh my god! No way!
The Speed Freak's would-be leader stands slack-jawed in disbelief at the hardcoreness on display. Can I just say, is this not like 80 times cooler because he's doing it with the fucking Kvalson and the ceremonial dagger? Or saber? Like, it's perfect. It's actually perfect. This is the best character moment yet. He whispers to himself, no way. Should I be cool and collected like Yes Way? Or embellish? Let's fucking embellish. This is a celebratory moment. I've been unburdened by the shackles of my depleted mental and physical shell.
His reel-to-reel mixer blasted the anthem of a future that will never come. The young man observes your moves.
Fucking, even the fucking narrator is just dropping and like bombs, just fucking writing bombs. The anthem of a future that will never come.
Throws a screwdriver and a bunch of drill chucks into
Noid!
and explodes into dance. What he lacks in sharpness, he more than makes up for in violent
violent enthusiasm. Even I've got even the Noid involved. Andre's shell-shocked, slack-jawed. We got Noid, we got Egg. All I need now is Suna and Kim. Kim! This is... I've never wanted Kim to be more involved. Get in here!
What's going on here?
The lieutenant looks at you and the speed freaks grinding around in the church. A couple of unhinged lunatics. I said get in here and dance!
The lieutenant squeezes the bridge of his nose. The
Come
light
on.
reflects off his glasses,
Come on.
giving him the appearance of a surgeon in the middle of a tense procedure.
Come on, Kim. Come on. He's got to have some mirror neurons fucking flying around right now that tell him, like, to get himself involved.
He's having trouble adjusting to the new reality before him.
Ooh, but he's empathizing. It's a gateway in.
What's happening?
I'm not doing anything. The music made up its mind a long time ago. I'm just implementing. I become dance. Destroyer of worlds. Yes, this is none of my own doing, Kim. I'm being controlled by forces that I do not command. I'm just implementing.
Good for you. Rock on, then.
No. We ain't going anywhere before we tear shit up.
What?
Yes! Holy shit! This is the best authority check ever. 97%. It cannot be retried, but it needs no retrying. +1, Kim respects you. +3, I outrank him. +1, the dancing is so infectious. I think he only will regret he doesn't have similarly comically oversized props to swing around. That's it. Don't let the lieutenant leave without getting his hardcore on.
Who's the one?
Yes! Lieutenant, I am only going to pull rank on you one time, and that time is now.
Are you kidding me?
I assure you that I am not. Now get your groove on, Lieutenant.
Is my what on?
Lieutenant leans closer, unable to make out your words over the pumping beats. I said, get your goddamn groove on. Boogie woogie.
Sheesh. Okay.
He backs up with his hands raised in the air, observing the crisscross of your feet. Kim, you and I have been through a lot together. More than I ever really thought we had the capacity to go through. Okay. We have crossed some serious bridges in our professional and personal development. We've had opportunities to demonstrate and show our overlapping values. We've engaged each other intellectually and at times even physically. But this is something else, Kim. You're about to engage with me spiritually in a way that we may never get another chance to. So get involved.
Okay, you're a psychopath. What you're doing there? It's jacked up footwear plus some. Is that Ubi for dancing?
He adjusts his spectacles, then pops his collar as high as it will go.
Nah, it's not Ubi folk. It's hardcore.
It's hardcore, Kim.
Yeah. Whatever.
Doesn't matter. This isn't a thinking act, Kim. Just get your spinal cord involved. Let's taunt him. I know Kim has a competitive spirit. You talk a big talk, Lieutenant. Let's see some moves.
Oh, yeah? I did 15 years in the juvenile crime unit. I can do age inappropriate.
Let's see it then. Stop talking.
Now, check this shit out.
Let's go.
Lieutenant begins to heel kick the church floor with such intensity, it's reasonable to fear he'll kick a hole right through it, causing the floor to crack and bringing the church roof down on all of you.
He's going for it. He looks a little uncomfortable, but he's really making moves.
It doesn't look like he give a shit either.
And I don't either. It's not about style. It's not about form. It's about dance. Estelle, what are you doing?
The young woman lifts her headphones up slightly and raises her chin, looking at you expectantly.
Basil, aren't you going to dance?
Even fucking Suna's getting in on the groove.
No, recording.
She turns to Suna, then back to you. She briskly shakes her head and puts her headphones back on.
The lead programmer throws the other young woman a knowing glance before turning her attention back to her own work.
Okay. They'll get involved in their own way, I guess.
She's still at her mainframe, pressing buttons, reading printouts.
She's got some of this going on. Andre, dance. It's the law.
The young man immediately bounces down and assumes the same dance pattern, embellishing it with some sort of waving motion.
Let's go.
The authority of the law is clearly unquestionable.
Unquestionable. No questions. Is there anything more I can do? I want to break the limit.
The dynamic motion of your flailing body is bordering on the extreme. You're going off the charts.
There's no space left on the charts.
I feel as if turning on the hyperdrive would be a point of no return. Feels almost minimal. Are you sure you have the entire pursuit of this?
No, wait.
No time to wait.
No time to wait. Okay. Then we're turning on the hyperdrive. I'm a speed addict. Suna is in. Andre's dancing harder. I even got Kim dancing. There is no turning back.
On the coast of the Martinez Inlet, in a small weather-beaten stone church built 380 years ago by settlers from the Occident, most likely to guard against an anomaly at its center, an officer of the RCM is contorting his body into idiotically rigid shapes as he invents the future of dance music. It's the hardest anyone has ever danced.
I'm dancing with my soul. What is this strange feeling I keep having? This cold, even now.
I am la Rebachelière.
Holy shit, that just gave me chills. What is happening?
I am the city.
What do you mean you are the city?
I am a fragment of the world spirit, the genius Loki of Revachol. My heart is the wind corridor. The bottom of my air is red. I have 100,000 luminous arms.
It like Shivers just has the best fucking writing, like of anything I've ever ever read, seen, heard, experienced. It's so good and so concise.
Come morning, I carry industrial dust and let it settle on tree leaves. I shake the dust from those leaves and onto your coat. I've seen you. I've seen you. I've seen you with her. And I've seen you without her. I've seen you on the crescent of the hill.
How are you talking to me?
The modulations of my voice are noted down with thermometers and barometers. You feel me in your nostrils, on the little hairs on the back of your neck.
I actually do. I have legitimately like neck hairs are at attention.
I also reside in your lungs and vestigial organs. Everywhere there is space.
But who am I? But who am I? Why are you talking to me?
You are an officer of the citizens' militia, Jante and Rebut. When you wear your coat, you wear my soul.
It's just so good.
You move through my streets freely, in motor carriages and on foot. You have access to the hidden places. You also circulate among those who are hidden. I need you You can keep me on this earth. Be vigilant. I love you.
Holy shit. That's the most direct statement of affection we have heard this entire time. And like in so many ways, I need you. Like we assume that Kim benefits from our presence. You can even tell that Harry has a bit of he has acknowledgement of like his own skill set. You know, when we do those checks, it says like, you're a great cop, you outrank him, you have all these cases. Like he doesn't love everything about who he was, but he knows he was a damn good cop. But I don't ever think we've assumed that Kim needs us. Possibly as like a co-worker or as an investigator, but as a person, as a friend, like, does he count on us the way that we count on him? The way that we lean so much on his presence and like he is the load-bearing weight on our whole psychology right now, which is like if Kim stops being invested in us, him being there is how we know that like there is someone with a very low tolerance for bullshit who is still standing beside us this entire time. And so I must not be too far gone. We need him. But I don't know if we ever felt like he really needs us as much. You can keep me on this earth. Telling us that the drive we have to like not just solve this case, but exactly like I was saying at the beginning of this episode, like we've done so much more than solve a crime. We've gotten involved in people's lives. We've handled sensitive moments of grief. We've isolated moments of passion and given kids an opportunity to like be kids in a world that probably doesn't hand them out so naturally. Be vigilant. Don't slow down. Keep going. Stay on top of this. And I love you. Like to hear that, even just to internalize it. Even if this is something Harry just perceives or experiences, like the real psychological impact of hearing this is probably profoundly transformative for him in a very important way, because I think a lot of Harry's relationships have been transactional. Even the things that we do for people that are out of the own goodness of our heart, we've done transactionally. We do them to solve quests. We do them for experience points. We do them like for something. The city doesn't really ask us to do anything though, Shivers, other than this. Which isn't just transactional, but quite transformative. Which I think is what makes the difference between an acquaintance and a real connection.
An officer of the RCM is lying on the floor of a small church with his eyes rolled back and his tongue lolling out. Several others are standing around him. He slowly comes to.
It was so hardcore that it literally incapacitated us.
Had a good rest there?
I spoke to the city of Revachol.
Fuck yeah! I bet you did. Those were some advanced moves, man.
That's all great, but we should really get going. We spent enough time doing aerobic exercise for today.
No, you don't even understand, Kim. This was so much more than a dance-off for me. But it is over now.
You might be imagining it, but it feels like Egghead turned the volume down. Such is his respect.
Quite reasonable in this case.
Man! Now! Man! Now!
The would-be leader stutters with excitement.
Now imagine if we could do that, right? But with like 1,000 people.
I think it would literally be too powerful.
End of human development. Mission complete.
Right. Ecstatic.
All right.
You're absolutely beat. Muscles relaxed and feet like noodles underneath.
Yeah. That's it for
Goodbye,
now.
officer.
Oh, what an experience. Kim, do you have anything to say about this?
Yes?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to try this too. Fuck it. We're in the end game now. Let's get my Inland Empire stuff going. Convince Kim that there's a sexy dark mystery twist in the case. I think this is probably the perfect time to bring this up as well.
Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul.
You know, you could have just told me it wasn't going to work. It didn't need to go after my absolute character
One
like
should
that.
be ashamed of. It's no wonder the soft one doesn't want it back. It was right to abandon me.
Holy shit. Inland Empire is actually a villain. Okay, let's try that again.
Yes?
Convince Kim that there's a sexy dark mystery twist in the case.
What if you did it?
Did what, the Hanged Man?
Yes, you killed him. And then, as part of the plan, you drowned out the memory.
That's one theory.
It wasn't that you were horrified. You were just surprised by your own daring. Forgetting was merely a matter of convenience. Very clever.
I guess.
Maybe this
possibly.
is why your chest feels so hollow. You did an awful thing, and you can't even bring yourself to acknowledge it.
How?
Are you sure you would have the strength to take down a hardened mercenary? You're not in the best shape.
Kim, I think I may be the murderer. I killed the man and then tricked myself into forgetting about it.
And what has led you to this conclusion?
My chest feels hollow, like I did something terrible. Interesting. So this reply especially is like quite unique. When I'm assessing for someone for anxiety, we might do something called the GAD-7, which is like for generalized anxiety disorder. It's like a 7-question inventory. And it asks things like, when you worry about things, do you find it hard to stop worrying? When you worry about things, do you worry about like just one thing in particular usually, or is it like a multitude of things? Like how often in the last 2 weeks have you been kind of stressed, nervous, or on edge, right? It's asking a lot of that stuff. But one of the questions is like, do you feel that you're anticipating something awful has happened or will happen? And that combination of things, if they're ranked pretty highly, if there's something people are feeling on a daily basis, would start telling us that like this person's anxiety is overtuned, right? Because like it's normal to have anxiety for things. Like if I have a stressful test coming up and I'm anxious about it, it's proportionate to the event. Like that's normal, right? Like that gives me anxiety. But generalized anxiety, once it becomes disorderly, it's because it's so pervasive that it's kind of attacking areas of life categorically and like also disproportionate. So I don't just stress about my test, I stress about like my home life and my social relationships, and not even just real materials, but like things I anticipate. And imagine you're a cop. Imagine you're a cop with disorderly anxiety, like Harry is, and he's trying to make sense of it. It is not at all surprising, given his like lapse in memory, that he would come to this conclusion, or at least a curiosity about like, I feel this impending sense of doom, like something bad is happening, and I worry about a lot. Like all of these things bring him different kinds of worries. Some give him worries about other people. Some give him worries about like his, the level of respect that he gets or doesn't. Some give him worries about like his inability to detect things that a detective should be able to detect. His inability to like conceive abstract concepts. his inability to detect lies, even though that's kind of what he needs to do as a detective. Like, they all have kind of an insecurity that they bring to the table, like his strength, his physical appearance, his lack of composure when he measures up to Kim, his like lack of reaction speed due to years of alcohol use, his existential and like spiritual sense of dread, right? And even just the fear of him, his own self. Every single one of these has their own attention on something of concern, of anxiety. It's actually really a great representation of generalized anxiety disorder now that I think about it. Because it's like every category of your life has like something that scares you. Not that that's uncommon either, but again, overtuned, right? Way overtuned, disproportionate, and also not always about real things. Like if you have a lot going on and you're anxious about all of it, that's normal. It's not normal or it's disorderly. It's somewhat common that the anxiety is like everywhere about everything and every possible thing related to those things. And it's not surprising that that could get attached to like the case. Like maybe I did something. I mean, that diagnosis would slot very well into everything else that Harry has. So my chest feels hollow, like I did something terrible.
That is a common side effect of overindulgence. It will pass.
So you're saying I didn't kill him, but Kim, it turned out to be that I was the one racing around town in my motor carriage.
The victim wasn't run over by a drunk driver. So while I can't condone your driving habits, the cases remain unrelated.
And one of the treatments for this kind of anxiety is, well, cognitive behavioral therapy is great for it, but it's like examining the evidence, which is kind of what Kim is doing. He's kind of acting as our therapist. First, he was our dance partner. Well, actually, before that, he was our coworker, then partner in crime solving, then closer associate, then friend, then caregiver / chaperone, then our dance partner, and now he's being our therapist.
Look, it's not unusual for detectives to feel complicit in a crime until the perpetrator is identified and apprehended, especially when the investigation is dragging. So let's get back to it, shall we?
A little bit of cognitive restructuring, some psychoeducation, and then some motivational interviewing. I think Kim is the secret therapist. He actually would have been great at that. Okay. Well, I guess I'm cured then of that little bit of anxiety. I wonder if Suna has anything to say about the dance-off.
Yes, what is it?
Nope. Okay. Well, I think we actually have done everything we can in here now. Egg, any comments?
Morning, comrade. Yeah, harder, car.
Should we try this too while we're here? Fuck it, why not? This is a Save Scummy episode. What do I need for this? Interfacing? Let's take that.
Good morning, comrade.
Okay, yeah. This one's going to be tough to pass as well.
Bzz, 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 goes the track in the background,
Yeah.
never ending. You can't grasp what's missing, but you can try to make something up anyway.
Just make it up. No way the speed freak can tell the
You
difference.
scrape the moldy recesses of your brain for some technological sounding jargon. It'll impress the large-headed speed freak.
Dude, you got to reroute the sound juice through the fluxifier.
The fluxifier? Where is that?
Oh yeah, let a pro show you how it's done.
As you fiddle with the knobs on the mixer, the young man stares with amazement.
Oh, I love this.
Conrads and knobs.
I'm a knob rider.
Whatever it is you did, it seems to have helped slightly. Maybe now you'll be able to make sense of it.
Actually, though, there's no way that. I guess fiddling with some knobs actually increased our odds.
Sidechain the beat.
Sidechain. What does it even mean?
Listen, you can use the compressor to select between which track it's compressing, either the auxiliary signal or the main input from the tape. Make it alternate between the signals.
I love the implication that there's a 28% chance I know what the fuck I'm talking about and a 72% chance I know absolutely nothing.
The compressor controls the gain based on the level of the signal on the aux sidechain input. It will allow maintaining a loud sound without peaks that fill up all the headspace.
Okay, Egg. You need to start sidechaining it. I mean, I know what sidechaining is. I do it for these videos. Like, you can hear when I talk, the volume of the game automatically adjusts using a compressor because there's one in DaVinci Resolve. It's just making it sound complicated. It's just dynamically adjusting the volume.
Sidechaining it, you said.
He turns down the music, his hands moving deftly across the mixer, setting up the necessary controls.
Then he puts on his headphones and his eyes go wide, wider than they've ever gone on drugs. He starts jumping up and down with bliss in total silence, still listening to his headphones.
Hey, what did you do to Egghead, Cop Man? Did you break him?
What? Just wait and see.
Are you ready, pussy?
Yes!
Lloyd straightens his back, ready for the beat.
He's holding on.
I was born ready, Egg.
Give him a thumbs up. There's so much happening in this fucking church. It's too powerful.
The audio assault is glorious. The speed freak dances on the stage, intensely waving his hand in the air.
This is beauty. This is life.
It sure is, Egg.
What in the world is going on? The way melody and bass flow together. It's unnatural.
Your body is taking a beating from the low frequencies crashing over you. It's making you feel alive again.
We have tamed the sound, made it our own.
Damn it. This dance club idea might just work out. Sonorian Church, the place to be. Pump it. Pump it.
He's losing himself.
Who would be the innocence of hardcore melodic dance music?
Well, I guess that naturally leads to a conversation with the mural.
The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting on a single pane of glass. A crack runs across the length of her body, her face oval and sad.
Okay, I kind of feel like that's probably it's going to be its own thing. Let's do that in a different episode. I am never going to finish this game. Fuck all that. Actually, my morale was very strongly healed by dancing and also creating the future of dance music, and also solving potentially the mysteries of both who committed the crime, but also what's happening to reality, all in this little church. And I will finish this game, absolutely. And I know I can, because I now have the constitution and the morale to do so. I'm connected to this world in a way that I could only have dreamed of, both through music and spiritual connection to Shivers. So I'm also ready to survive whatever psychological onslaught this this encounter, this boss battle, it's kind of like a boss battle, will contain for me. And we will do that on the next episode. So, thank you for watching. And I will see you again soon for, this time, not more trauma, perhaps some healing. In the least expected place. And with the least expected person. Okay, I'll see you all again very soon for the next one. Take care.